This right here is Jack Teixeira, and he might be the only US military member in history to get caught stealing top secret information by posting about it to his gaming friends on Discord. And to make matters even worse, Jack Teixeira was already in trouble for taking notes down on top secret information when he was not supposed to be looking at this information, and then again posting about it on Discord to all of his gaming friends. Now, Jack Teixeira is not the only US military member to get caught stealing top secret information, but I think his story is really unique and interesting. So let's go ahead and look back at what exactly happened, and then I want to see where he's at today. Is he in prison? Did he get in trouble for all of this? We'll cover that later. So first things first, Jack Teixeira is an airman first class in the Air National Guard, and this really is the first step of this story. Many people were confused on how such a low-ranking airman was able to steal classified information and then talk about it publicly on a Discord. Well, what you need to understand is that Teixeira was a cyber transport systems journeyman, so he had access to secret information or top secret information due to the nature of his job, whether he wanted to see something or did not want to see something. And what I mean by that is pretty much any job in the US military that has something to do with communications or systems technology, you're going to get a security clearance because this is an insurance policy from the US military. What I mean by that is if you're going to be setting up a secret network and you know all of the passwords to this network, you are going to be given a security clearance, because if you go ahead and try to steal that information or give away that information, if you were given a security clearance, this is the insurance policy from the US military to where they can get you in trouble and say, look, we trusted you, we gave you the clearance, now you're going to be in trouble. Something else I want to point out, just because something is classified as secret information or top secret information, this could sort of be far-fetched. What I mean by that is not everything that's top secret has something to do with like Area 51 or we know where the aliens are at. There are times where the US military will classify something as top secret or secret because it has someone's information on it, like their date of birth or their social security numbers, things like that. However, in this story, Teixeira had access to virtually all top secret information that got him into a lot of trouble. Things like the war in Ukraine and national security, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, something else I want to point out is that Teixeira was rather new to the military. He's been serving since September of 2019 up until 2023 before he got arrested, and the only award he received was the Air Force Achievement Medal. Again, a lot of people question, how did somebody who's only been awarded the Air Force Achievement Medal, which is not that high of an award, and somebody who's only an airman first class have access to all of this information? Well, Teixeira was assigned to a unit called the 102nd Intelligence Wing, and I'm not trying to throw this unit under the bus, but due to the nature of his climate and where he worked, there was a lot of top secret information being thrown around, whether or not, again, Teixeira wanted to hear it or needed to hear it. And look, again, this happens all the time in the US military where maybe you're standing in an office and somebody's talking about something you're not supposed to know about, but as long as you have a security clearance, you're not going to go ahead and talk about it on another social media platform, let alone a Discord. Now, here's how Teixeira was able to access this information and how he actually took this information and posted it on the internet. Now, this is straight from the DOJ, Department of Justice. According to the charging documents, Teixeira transmitted the classified national defense information on the social media platform in two ways, social media platform being Discord. First, Teixeira allegedly accessed classified documents containing national defense information from a classified workstation at the Otis USANG base and transcribed and transmitted the information in written paragraphs to other users on the social media platform. So essentially, Teixeira had access to a database by the DoD, and there was a lot of classified information on this database, and apparently it was as easy as long as you have a security clearance and you know about this database, you had access to the database. And Teixeira thought he was sneaky by not necessarily screenshotting or downloading this information. He would see the information visually and then write it down on a notepad and then write it on Discord. So he would go from computer to notepad back to computer. which is definitely evidence against Teixeira trying to be sneaky, but I digress. Teixeira also posted images of classified documents to the social media platform, which bore standard classification markings including secret, top secret, and SCI designations, indicating that they contain highly classified United States government information. At least one of the documents containing national defense information was allegedly found in digital form, in particular account associated with Teixeira. And this is where prosecutors are saying that Teixeira was trying to show off and brag to his friends by posting the top secret and secret information of these documents, again, to the Discord. Now look, U.S. military members have friends outside of their branches, especially in the National Guard. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the National Guard, but you are at times a part-time soldier or a part-time airman. So really the majority of your friends, they're civilians. Now look, even active duty members, you can be friends with people online. National Guard members, you can be friends with people online, but that doesn't mean you can go ahead and talk about the nature of your job in the capacity of top secret information. Now, according to court documents, one of the social media platform servers had over at 150 users, including overseas individuals. And in one of the Discord chats, Teixeira told his friends that he would post an F-ton of information about US intelligence in Israel, Palestine, Syria, Iran, China, and more. He was also caught saying, IDGAF, I don't give an F, what they say I can or can't share. All of the SHIT I've told you guys I'm not supposed to, he allegedly told other users, implying he understood the unlawfulness of his disclosures. Now, to make things even worse, Teixeira was actually known to look at classified information and was actually caught jotting down notes. So he would quite literally see classified information, write it down, and he got caught. Back in 2022, he was actually given a cease and desist order, preventing him from conducting any deep dives into classified information. But then he was caught just 1 month later. In February of 2023, Teixeira was again observed viewing content that was not related to his duties. Now look, beyond all of the stuff that Teixeira was posting as far as top secret information, Teixeira also was caught writing things down like, you know, I want to hurt people, anyone who's weak-minded, they deserve to be hurt, things like that. I can't actually say what he said. I suggest you go ahead and look at the court documents. I don't want to get in trouble on here, but it was some pretty bad stuff. And on April 13th of 2023, he was finally arrested by the FBI in a raid. Now, fast forward from April 13th, 2023 to May 19th of 2023, a U.S. District Court magistrate, Judge David H. Hennessy, granted the government's motion for detention. Teixeira remains in federal custody. And going from May all the way up to June 21st, Teixeira actually pleaded not guilty. However, he was still indicted and is waiting in a prison for his actual court date and for his actual trial. Now, at the time of making this video, we're about 6 months into Teixeira waiting for his trial. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, Teixeira has done so many bad things, it's probably going to take a very long time for his actual trial to happen because there's a lot of investigations going on, and let's actually talk about the snowball effect that Teixeira managed to cause. First things first, right from his unit, there were supervisors that were fired. There were supervisors that were put under investigation. We don't have a lot of details on the specifics of who the supervisors were, but nonetheless, if Teixeira was already in trouble and was already caught, how was he not kicked out of the military, and how was he still able to gain access to all of these top secret files? Number 2, the Biden administration and the U.S. military was made fun of for a very long time. How is this secret database just so easy to access by an airman? Again, I'm not trying to hate on the rank of this airman, and I'm not trying to hate on any low-ranking military members because it doesn't really matter what your rank is. It all has to do with what your job position is. And because Teixeira worked in the cybersecurity realm and setting up networks, he of course was again going to be seeing or have access to top secret information, but to have a database where you have information that has something to do with the war in Ukraine or somebody's date of birth, why was Teixeira just able to access all of this? So again, across the board, Teixeira managed to embarrass the DoD, embarrass his unit, and really embarrass himself. Now, as far as the punishment Teixeira could be facing, each charge of unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. A judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Now again, Teixeira has pleaded not guilty. Apparently he might be confident and he knows that he won't be in trouble. But as far as all of the evidence I'm seeing in the FBI being rather confident in putting out a lot of this evidence on what he actually did, and also having outside sources from the actual Discord where they said they saw the information, I think Teixeira is going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, will Teixeira face up to 10 years in prison, and will he get a $250,000 federal fine? I mean, again, that's totally up to the judge. It all has to do on whether or not this judge wants to be, merciful on Teixeira for this being the first time he's done this. And if you ever look throughout court history, if somebody who does a crime doesn't seem to be remorseful and was caught mocking and making fun of the system, typically a judge is not going to show too much mercy on the person. And look, I'm not saying Teixeira is mocking or making fun of the court system, but again, when you go and look back at the evidence, Teixeira was already caught doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and he was saying really bad and heinous things about weak-minded people. He wanted to take them out. Again, Teixeira was mocking in his own way on a gaming Discord. So yeah, Teixeira is waiting his trial and waiting to see if he will be guilty with his charges. Nonetheless, again, he is waiting in prison, and we'll see what happens. In my honest opinion, I think Teixeira will definitely be facing up to 10 years in prison. This is a massive deal, and Teixeira kept going back after he was told to stop looking at the classified information. Again, I think because of that, he will at the very least be facing up to 10 years in prison. But you guys let me know what you think. Will Teixeira be facing any prison time? Will Teixeira get away with all of this? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We'll see you later.